Alright students, when we have to talk about critical minimum effort theory and we have to represent it diagrammatically, so along the OX axis you will be taking two set of axes. Along the OX axis you will be showing per capita income and induced income growth, and along the vertical or the Y axis you will be taking per capita income and induced income decline. So basically this along the X axis it induced income growth basically shows the impact of stimulants, and along the Y axis the induced income decline basically shows us the impact of the shocks. Right now the next thing that you need to do is you will have to draw a 45-degree straight line. As I said, this is always a reference line with regards to a balanced growth path for any economy. Right now, once you do this, the next important thing is we have to make two graphs showing the impact of shocks and stimulants. Right now, how will you do that? First of all, you will be taking it's going to be a spiral kind of a diagram like this. DD is one curve, it's probably an S-shaped curve, right? And another curve I'm drawing here is like this, which is ZZ. Right, you can see this. So I've drawn two spiral curves or S-shaped curves, whatever you want to say it. DD is one and ZZ is the other one. Now what does DD represent? DD represents the impact of shocks, right? And ZZ curve represents the impact of stimulants, right? So these are what these two curves are depicting. DD is representing shocks and ZZ represents stimulants. Right now, if we start off, let us say from this point E, I have marked this point E. Now corresponding to this point E, if you see, the level of income in the economy is very less. You can say the economy is in a very low state of development. The level of per capita income in the economy is very less. So therefore we have to start off from this point. Now let us say at this point some amount of investment, I'm not saying critical minimum investment, some amount of investment was put into the economic system. Now when some amount of investment was put in, let us say it increased the income to this level OP. Right, can you see this point OP? I have marked this point OP. So when some amount of investment was put into the economic system, it increased the income level to OP. Now at this income level, we have to basically now see that whether this investment is helpful or not. That how we will see. We will see through the impact of shocks and stimulants. Now since this 45-degree straight line is a reference line, now from this point, corresponding to OP level of income which the economy sees after some amount of investment into the economy, let us mark this point as small n. I am marking this point as small n, where a straight line from OP income level, it cuts across the 45-degree line. Right now from n, and where it touches the ZZ curve, you can mark that as point A. Right, and then through point A, draw a straight line touching the DD curve below at point B, and also it goes and touches the 45-degree straight line at point F. Right, so I have marked these points N, A, B and F. Right, now what exactly are we trying to show? That at OP income level, that is when the economy achieves this income level, at this level if you see, NA is what? NA is the impact of stimulants. Right, NA is the impact of stimulants because the stimulants are going to work in this direction along the x-axis. So when OP is the level of income, NA is the impact of stimulants in the economy, whereas at OP level of income, if you see, FB is the impact of shocks. Right, how do we calculate it? From the 45-degree straight line till the stimulants curve, that is point A, this is the impact of stimulants, because I've already said that ZZ is what? It is representing stimulants. Right, So NA will capture the impact of stimulants at OP level of income, and on the other side, F is the point on 45-degree line, and A is the reference point. Through this point A till the shocks curve, this is DD is the shocks curve. So FB therefore will represent what? It will represent the impact of shocks. Now as you can see that your FB is greater than NA, right? Since your FB is greater than NA, your impact of shocks is greater than the impact of stimulants. So therefore this particular investment will have no effect. That means this was not the critical minimum effort. This was not the minimum amount of investment that could make the growth process self-propelling. And what will happen? Because the shocks are more stronger than the stimulants, the economy will revert back to this low level of development, that is point E. So like this, the economy will come back to a low level of development because shocks are going to pull the economy back to a low level of income. So therefore what we need to do is, then what is the critical minimum investment? I'll just change the color and tell you. The critical minimum investment therefore is corresponding to this point G. If you can see, I'm marking it in red. So where the income level increases to OK, right? The income level increases to OK. At this point G, this is called as the critical minimum investment. Why? Because at this point G, if you see, the impact of shocks and have been made weaker, and the impact of stimulants have been made stronger. This, if you see, is the impact of, if I can mark it through say HG. So HG represents the impact of stimulants. Now they have been more stronger, and the impact of shocks, if you see, if I mark this as L, right, the impact of shocks LG is much lesser than what it was earlier, which was FB. So shocks will become weaker, stimulants will become more stronger only if you put in a critical minimum investment which increases your income level to OK, right? So therefore after this, the economy will attain a level of growth which will become self-propelling, or which